Hello, friends. Hello, neighbors. How are you? JT here. Thanks for coming back. And I have to say thank you to all my viewers and subscribers, for I have hit 600 subscribers. Yay! I feel like I'm someone now. Hey, it's great for you to visit me here. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done yet, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and we're going to get right into it. So, as you see for the title, where should you take your gun? To a local tactical shop or to a gunsmith to get all your work done? And if you are on YouTube, as I am scanning YouTube all the time on how to make your guns work better, as we have here as an example, we have a Prodigy Springfield full length 5-inch. It is unloaded here. We have nothing in the chamber, and it is safe. But so this gun was just a plain Jane 5-inch Prodigy. Nothing really special about it other than it was optic ready. It did not have a compensator, and it worked fine. I mean, I shot it. I shot about 100 rounds through it. I did not have any malfunctions at all. I think we've gone past that growing pains as far as when Prodigy first came out, when they were having problems, and that was all the talk on the internet about the Prodigy being junk. However, I think it is a quality firearm. We're going to get into speaking about other alternatives to a Prodigy in just 1 minute. However, let's talk about where should you take your gun. If you're not a gunsmith, if you're not a tactical guy, if you don't know how to work on guns, where should you take your gun to get work done? And for example, we all want our guns to work better. We want them to be smoother. We want them to shoot better. We want our triggers to be lighter. We want them to be tacti-cool, right? We want them to be cool. Basically, we just like to tinker with our guns. I am not a gunsmith, and I can do basic things. But as far as breaking my gun down to the tiniest little bits and changing parts and things like that, I'm not really that well versed on doing that. I am a Glock armorer, but that was 15 years that I took that class, and also a Remington armorer, which gives me some background, but I don't feel comfortable just doing the little tiny works that make these guns operate better. So what did I do? I took this gun to my local tactical shop versus taking it to a gunsmith. And what's the difference? Is it going to rain? Is that rain? I hear it. Yes, I think it's going to rain. I'm going to keep going. That's awesome about doing live stuff. I'm going to get rain down here a little bit, and we're going to keep it going. That's right. I don't care. I'm not made out of cardboard. We're going to keep going. These things are water resistant. So what did I want? I wanted it to shoot a little smoother. It did stage a little bit on the slide. And when I say staging, meaning, when it would go forward, it would kind of do this, and I would feel the disconnector on the slide, and it just didn't feel smooth as glass as it does with my, let's say, my staccato P. And I don't care what you say. There's people out there that says, oh yeah, you can turn your Prodigy into a staccato P, just throw $1,000 on it. If that's the case, just get yourself a staccato. I mean, because these things are $1,100, $1,200 anyway. And by the time you put $1,000 into it, you can just buy yourself a staccato. If you want a staccato, buy one. If you want to put $1,000 into a Prodigy, go ahead. But if your goal is to make your 1911 have all the bells and whistles and run really smooth like butter out of the box, just buy yourself a better gun. That's just my opinion. But I got this Prodigy. I shot it a little bit, and it was my first 2011 type gun, double stack 9mm. So I wanted to put some bells and whistles on it. What did I do? So I went to my local tactical shop. I'm going to throw the link here in a little bit. I'm going to attach it here, so check it out in the description. CTI Tactical, the guy, my contact there, his name is Eddie. Really cool guy, very savvy. He's an FFL, and, pardon me, but I don't know what his background is, if he's a gunsmith or not. But let me tell you, man, he does quality work. What did I get done to this Prodigy? Well, first of all, check out this Cerakote. It did not come like this from the factory. It was It was all OD green. So the slide is not Cerakoted. This is factory. But what I wanted was I wanted some traditional camo on it. And he did the Cerakote on there. I think it came out great because I said, Eddie, what I want you to do is I want you to match the same color of the frame to the barrel, but I want you to do a traditional camo on it, and he did that, and I think it looks great. So what else did he do? He also threw in this EGW firing kit that's in the weapon now, and these are all the stock parts to the Prodigy. And what does that do? Well, it makes it shoot a little better. It's, you know, these are allegedly MIM parts, MEM parts, and these parts by EGW are allegedly supposed to be better. And yeah, I mean, this thing is smooth now. Now, what to expect? Oh, also I forgot, he did port it and also did the milling on the slide there. So milling and porting of the slide, which, man, let me tell you, I think it just, does it do anything? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I shot maybe 100 rounds through this thing, and it was pretty flat. But now it's flat. I mean, it's not going to be day and night. I'm not a competitive shooter, so I don't think I have the ability to say, oh yeah, you know, it shoots 0.45 millimeters better than it did before. It still shoots great. What to expect? You know, so I think there's a difference between taking your gun to a tactical shop and taking it to a gunsmith. What would you take your gun to a gunsmith for? This is just my experience, all right? And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you, if you want your gun to run a little better, you have some options. A gunsmith, not any gunsmith knows how to work on 1911s, because 1911s, you know, you just put it out there. It's not every gunsmith out there likes to work on 1911s and has the knowledge to work on them. So, fortunately, I do have a gunsmith in the area. I'm not going to give him his name because, well, you'll see. It's just, I don't have his permission and I haven't talked to him, so I don't know if he wants that kind of thing. But I had the option of taking this weapon to a gunsmith, but I chose to take it to my tactical shop instead. Why? Well, first of all, I wanted the Cerakote. I wanted the milling and the porting. And he said, you know, while you're at it, why don't we throw in an EGW kit and, you know, make it work really nice. And I said, you got me sold. So I bought this on my own. I think I paid like $160 for it, and he threw it in. And, you know, I'm not going to go over prices just because, you know, you might watch this video 6 months from now and, you know, it might be cheaper, or he might charge you different, or you might have a different gun. So I'm going to leave that part out of it. All I'm going to tell you is that it was very reasonable and very affordable. Let's say under $500, okay? And so what he did was he did the porting, the milling, installed that kit for me, and as far as fitting, there really isn't really much any fitting to do, because all he did was exchange these parts. And also another thing that I did, or I told him to do, is I got from Atlas Gunworks, I got myself a toolless guide rod, which I think is a must-have for this, because that way you don't have to work on you know, Allen wrenches and stuff like that. It just makes life a lot easier to clean and take it apart and everything like that. And it looks cooler, and it's also stainless steel versus the factory black. So he did that for me. I think it came out great. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Now, I do have to say one thing that happened that was negative. So as I was shooting this gun, I did notice that the grip safety got floppy on me and stopped working. So, you know, I was going to go to my buddy's gunsmith shop anyway, because a friend of mine came from out of town, bought a gun from this guy, and I said, hey, I'll meet you there. Well, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to bring you my Prodigy, just so you can take a quick look at it. It's got the beaver safety, the grip safety kind of went dead on it. Yeah, he said, okay, bring it up. So I brought it to him, and, you know, he took the slide off, And the first thing he did was he said was, well, who did this work for you? And I told him, and his response basically was, he put the slide back on and said, well, here you go, have him fix it. Which, it kind of threw me off, because I guess that's just a personal thing, and maybe I was having a bad day or anything like that. But he didn't want to work on it because basically someone already was working on this gun, and no gunsmith work was done to this, just basically throwing those internals in. And he said, well, I don't know if you put the right parts in or not. I'm not going to mess with it. So, you know, I respect that. So what did I do? I went back to CTI Gunworks Tactical, and he said, dude, you got a minute? I'm like, yeah. He took the slide off, and he bent that sear spring a little bit with a screwdriver, put it back on, and it worked just fine. So, lesson learned. What did I learn from this experience? I learned a couple things. Number one, yeah, if you want to deck out your gun, take it to a tactical shop, because those guys are tactical nerds, all right? That's all they do is, I mean, this guy owns probably 25 2011s, and I bet you he's gone through all the mistakes that you can probably do when you work on a gun anyway. So, again, I apologize. I don't know if he's a certified gunsmith or not, but you know what? Yeah, if I had a 2011 that I wanted him to deck out, I would take it to him, just because he knows what he's doing. And this gun has come out, it came out just awesome. And as far as shooting it, it shoots flat, it shoots great. Again, I'm not that well versed enough to tell you the difference. I mean, one thing that also he did say, he said, well, you know, I'm gonna give you a heads up. It's going to stick a little bit. The slide will stick because it needs to break in. And of course, there's a plane that's gonna fly as I'm doing this. And this isn't even, I don't even have a fly zone around me. And this is a plane flying around here. He said it's gonna stick because the Cerakote needs to break in a little bit, and you know, that little tiny millimeter of paint needs to wear down a little bit. And he was right. You know, the first couple magazines that I shot on this thing, I had to help that slide forward, because literally what it did was it did that, and it wouldn't go into battery. So all I had to do is just tap it forward. And I did that maybe 4 times, all right? It did not malfunction. It just basically, you know, well, I guess you can call it a malfunction, but, you know, it didn't double feed or, you know, failure to eject or anything like that. Just the slide was really, really tight, and those tolerances were just super tight, and I just had to assist that slide a little forward. And after about 100 rounds, this thing is like butter now. And so, yes, my experience with my local tactical shop is very, very positive. However, there is one negative thing about going to your local tactical shop, and that is you're probably going to spend some money there, which is, you know, yeah, I mean, those guys, you know, you're going to get tactical nerds in there talking guns and just saying, oh, yeah, I did this to my gun, I did that to my gun. And I think it's a great place to, first of all, to network, hang out, maybe make some new friends, bring your stuff in, as long as you do it safely, and just kind of show off your stuff. I mean, there was a guy in there that had a Kimber Eclipse, one of those 2K11s, which, oh my God, just awesome. Another guy there had a Fusion Firearms, which I might put on my show very soon. Another guy had another Prodigy that he decked out totally different, you know, and basically you just get some cool ideas. When would I take my gun to a... All right, of course, someone calls me as I'm doing a video. No one ever calls me, but someone called me now. So when would I take my gun to a gunsmith? I think I would reserve gunsmith stuff to a situation where my gun either needs repair or I want to do a trigger job. Trigger job is totally different than throwing in one of these ignition kits in your gun, because when you do a trigger job, there's actually some filing going on, and they're actually changing the characteristics of the gun. And I would not do that on my own at all. I just want to make sure that I would not do that. I don't even think I'd let a tactical shop do that unless they're certified gunsmiths. So that's what I would do. If you wanted just your gun to be stock and you wanted someone to work on your gun, and make the trigger a little lighter and do some polishing and, you know, just hand filing and stuff like that, that's where I would take my gun to a gunsmith. But if you just want to deck it out, do some installation, do stuff like this, milling, porting, Cerakote, yeah, man, go to your tactical shop. And the guys at CTI Tactical over here in Madisonville, Kentucky, they know what they're doing. They have a laser engraver there. They do Cerakote. They can install internal kits for you. They do slings. They do holsters. They do, I mean, they'll make a holster for anything. I mean, they made a holster for guys chewing tobacco. I mean, it's pretty cool. Go check them out, man. I'm gonna put a link on the website. And also, check this out. They sell knives. If you're ever in Madisonville, go check them out, man. They're Madison Street in Madisonville, New York, Kentucky. And those guys really, really know what they're doing. But so that's the difference between a tactical shop and a gunsmith. You want to deck out your stuff. You make the stuff be tactical and have the latest and the greatest with as far as Cerakote, tactical shop. If you have repairs or you actually want some trigger jobs and things of that nature, repairs to be done to your guns, take it to a gunsmith. But anyway, that's my experience, and I'm happy with what they did to the gun, and I will be going back. Thanks very much. I appreciate you tuning in. Take it easy. Subscribe, like, and tell me, where do you take your guns for work? Do you do it yourself? Do you take it to a tactical shop? Do you take it to a gunsmith? Do you YouTube it? What is your experience with decking out your gun? Put it in the comments, and I want to hear you guys talk about it. Later. Peace.